prediction for how like at least something Monday to Wednesday potentially might go. Market open, it did the same thing as it did last week. It hit a big jump on Asian session. For me, that automatically, if you see on the other session, look, the first half session, it consolidated throughout the next day. Then it went up again in Asian session. It continued up through New York session to the next Asian session. And it came back down to this order block right here. Corrected down here. Then it continued higher again. Started an Asian session again. What that shows me is that because of that big jump, it's most likely either going to correct a little bit. What I mean by corrections, I mean it's going to come back down right here. The reason why I mark that is because when I go to the 15 minute, you can see that there's an order block right here. So it potentially could come back down here and continue higher in New York session, really depending how the market moves, or it can be a replica of last week in which it consolidated throughout the day. Because usually around Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays is when the markets really be making like a nice and good substantial moves that you can really profit on. But Mondays, I won't say Mondays are really the best days to trade, especially for futures or especially for gold at least. For me, especially for gold at least. Market is making all-time highs, which is pretty interesting. And on a 4 hour, it's a high, had its correction right here. Liquidity sweep, and it continue higher. On a daily, it's still building up. You could really see, bro, your boy was really trading. For me, I took a break because I was trading like with prop firms, so I'm not gonna see. I was really trading for a couple of months. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is around where I started. I've been trading for a good long minute. I mean, I started on a different account though first, but you could see like this was from around. I wasn't trading originally, so you could say like around here was when I started, like June, basically. June, July, August, September, October, November, December, January. That's been 8 months that I've been trading. Shit, I've made a lot of progress so far. Used prop firms, blew good like maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 of them Jones right by now. And I just take a break. Yeah. All preparation, get back in my good habits. Really, I stopped upholding my great habits that I was having. So I had to get back in the habit. That's why I came back. For me, I had to get back in the habit of being the patient trader. Like I said in one of my other videos, being the patient trader is how basically big institutions move. And that's how I want to be. So I am the patient trader. That's why I constantly say to myself. Also, weigh is following my rules. I weigh my rules with bread in a sense. It's following my rules worth this amount of money. So, and it's not so much like it's a hard thing. It's just more so it's very easy to throw away what you've learned or what you know is right simply because of pretty much greed. It's greed, but it's also you claiming. You're claiming something as yours before it actually is. Let's say it's for a payout. When you go and you claim a payout as yours, that's when things just start to mess up before you ever get the payout, because you're basically telling your brain, this is yours, this is mine. And when you was a kid, when something was yours, you wanted to protect it, you wanted to hold on to it, you want to keep it safe, right? So in trading, that's not going to work. If you want to keep something safe in trading, you're basically going to want to protect it at all means. So if you see a little tick move in the opposite direction and you want it to, you're scared. Your chest get heavy. feel me? Like you don't know what to do. Your brain start acting up. That hypersensitivity start acting. You just like, damn. I don't even like. Should I get out? Should I switch? Should I reverse? Should I break even? You're not patient enough to let the trade play out. Especially when you trade lower time frames. When you trade lower time frames, it's 10 times worse. Because each move is just going like this. So you really, especially when you want to protect something, when you want to keep it safe. That's why like a lot of people end up blowing their account. Because then it's like, okay, now let's say you get out of a trade just because you see hit a little pullback, even though you know it's probably going to continue up. You see a little pullback, you get out because you're scared. Now you get down 1,000. Now you take another trade because you want to make back the profit now. You want to protect the payout that was never ever yours. So you broke your rules already. You're not being patient. You're not doing what you got to do. All those things coming together is a recipe for disaster. I'm a little sleepy, so I'm a little out of it. But I'm really like trying to get my like method to make these videos down, like how I want to make these videos work. Right now I'm just talking to the camera pretty much and just seeing what I gotta say. Excuse me. Thank you. Y'all really gotta understand, trading is not like a hard thing for like it's like you get into trading, you watch the videos. I think people make it a lot more difficult. I think when you don't find a strategy that works for you, when you're constantly watching a whole bunch of different creators and different videos and different strategies, that's automatically gonna F you up. When you're doing what's not like right for you, when you're not risking the right way, when you're getting scared, when you're not being patient, all those things come together to make a bad trader and to make the process 10 times harder. But when you watch the right content, when you watch what you know you should, when you find your strategy and you stick to it long enough for it to play out, when you manage your risk, when you be patient, when you take a position, that's when things start to come together. That's when you learn, okay, this works. And the thing is, dopamine is low-key not your enemy. Your dopamine really is supposed to turn on to tell you that you're doing something right. But it will also turn on when you're doing something wrong. That's what you gotta try and when you start trading, you gotta try and fill your head with more right things, more right confluences that come together. And confluences are not only limited to trading things. Confluences are things in your daily life, whether it's working out, whether it's taking a walk, whether it's just meditating and breathing, whether it's drinking enough water, whether it's eating enough meals. If you know that when you wake up in the morning and you eat a meal, you feel better than if you don't, or you feel more clear when you don't than when you do, then do what's right for you. Literally use your confluences all throughout your day to like you're sewing something and you're threading that needle to make something magnificent. Literally just keep threading that needle with the proper thread. Or else you might get knots. And then you gotta go back out and take out the knots and cut out the knots and then re-sew that part and all this at the third, right? You don't want that. I don't know how sewing really goes, but you don't want that, right? You want to put all your confluences together. You want to make everything work for you to put you in the best possible headspace, physicality, everything. So that way when you sit in front of the charts, there is no worry in the world because you already know. And the realest thing in the world, especially with trading, is that when you're in a good position, you're calm, you're good, you're clean, you're regular. Because whether it's good or bad, whether it's winning or losing. I mean, because when you take a position that went together with everything that you knew, even if it does not play out the way that you thought it would, it is no fault of your own. At least not for the majority. So move based off that. Take the positions, take the right positions, because we all know when we take the right positions, we feel our most confident. We feel good. When we just see that play out, it's good. Even if we don't see it play out. When we know we're in a good position and we join inside a position, even if it makes a little wick, even if the wick opens up coming down, we already know where it's going. We know where we're aiming for. We know where it's going. We know what we're trying to see. We know. So we're confident. At least that's how I am. But when it's a position that I don't know and I'm not sure, that's when I'm scared. That's when I'm like, damn, shit, why did I take that? Nothing even went together for real. For me, that's why it's so important to talk to yourself. Like while you're looking at the markets and you want to look for reasons not to trade for real. Like you want to ask yourself, why should I not join this position? And you want to ask yourself, why should I? Do it in that order. And say it out loud. And you'll be like, okay, I see it going into, I see it just indicated last night, then it corrected. Okay, now the New York session opens, it's most likely going to continue. Okay, now I know at 10 o'clock, that's most likely when it corrects a little bit into the 9 o'clock candle. So let me wait until it comes back down until the 9 o'clock candle corrects, and then I'll join. Hold that position, 2-3 hours, maybe end the session, 6 hours right there. So when you say it out loud and it's like you can see it on the screen, everything just comes together. This indicator is just like absorption. It just showed me like buyer and seller levels pretty much. So you can see right here, buyers is right here, sellers up here. It's moving pretty smooth to be honest. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's it for today. Tell me what y'all want to see, bro. If anybody actually watches this video. Yeah, subscribe.